I love that song. Fabulous Life. Hello, hello, everybody. Let's talk fabulous today, right? My name is Barbara J. Beckley, and I'm going to be your host for today. Very exciting topic. We're going to be talking about the power within, healing beyond the surface. And I know a lot of you have been needing to be healed from the inside. And sometimes your outside looks one way, but the inside is still, ugh. So we're going to be talking about with our wonderful panelists today. We will be right back. Ta-da! And we are back with our wonderful panelists again today. If you're just chiming in, just getting in the room here, we are going to be talking about the power within, how we heal from the inside out, right? Sometimes the outside in doesn't work because you still all that got going on. But today we are going to be talking about that. We have some wonderful queens. I can say queens. So y'all, I have ladies here. Yay! I love it when I can do the queens. So you're all here, wonderful. And I want to push to let everybody know, please, please comment. Just because we are the panelists are here and myself, that doesn't mean this is a conversation with just us only. We want to have conversation with each and every one of you out there. So put your comments out there, put your golden nuggets if you have something that helped you out with your healing, anything, little stories that you might even have. We want you to share. Sharing is caring, right? So we want to make sure that happens. But before we even start with getting to know these wonderful queens real quickly, I want to kind of set the tone a little bit regarding this particular topic. We will be right back. It's like I gotta sit that breathe, right? So with that, you really understand what we're going to dig into, and I cannot wait till we dig into this with our group. So I'm going to put myself in the middle and go from each person from top to bottom. We'll start with our first queen. I'm going to bring you in the middle here.
Hello, hello. I'm Cortina Jackson, TV and film producer out of Dallas, Texas. Very nice to be here, and I'm feeling quite welcomed. And thank you for allowing me.
As always, queen, you are awesome. Next queen.
Oh.
Uh-oh, we got a delay.
A bit of a delay. I'm Karen Stultz from Mid-Coast, Maine. And I'm thrilled to be here today, even with all of the hesitation going on. We just have to laugh and keep going.
We just love technology. Thank you, Queen. And our next person.
Hi, Thank you so much for having me. I'm Roxy B. Rocker. I'm in Massachusetts. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have multiple businesses. I'm starting a fashion, adaptable, accessible clothing line and accessories. I'm a wellness practitioner, and I own a media company for disability education and awareness. I'm also a TV host. Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here. What a blessing.
Yes, yes. Rocky's a new queen on the panel, so I'm so glad to have her.
Mhm.
Our next queen, move her in there.
Hi, I'm Carol Henderson, and I come to you from Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, and I just am so excited to be here. And I love this show, and I'm just so blessed every time I'm asked to be on it.
Yes, yes, lady. And our
Mhm.
last one, Miss Barbara. We
Hi,
share
everybody.
we share the same name here.
We share the same name. Perfect name, of course. Well, hi, I'm Barbara Ellison. I'm a transformational life trainer working with late career business professionals to get in touch with who they are. And I live in a small town about 2 hours west of Chicago, Cortland, Illinois.
Okay, now y'all making me jealous. Y'all in different states and the sun shining or whatever. And well, it was raining, but I mean, okay, listen, my name is Barbara J. Beckley, and I'm from Kenosha, Wisconsin, where right now I'm 77 and it's partly sunny. It was raining before, but I was hoping it wasn't raining right at this show because I'm like, I don't need that. And then I go down. I mean, down like out of this whole computer. So we're going to have the sun just keep shining right now and let the show keep moving. So, with that said, we're going to go right into it because I want these lovely ladies made some wonderful clips of the topic. And I'm telling you, get your tissue ready, get a pen and paper because you're going to need to write these down. I'm telling you, you do not want to forget these golden nuggets, as I always call it, from them. So, first, we're going to start with our first queen, Cortina, and we'll be right back.
So excited about today's topic. I am talking about the power of healing within. Because when you realize you're healed within, it reflects everything outwardly. And one thing I love to always think about is our mind is our superpower. It could be your superpower or your nemesis. Your superpower in that everything that you think, it reflects back to you. What are you thinking about today? This is going to be wonderful. I can't wait to share with you. Let's change our thoughts. Let's change our life. Let's live in success.
Yes, as
Wow.
she said, let's talk. I love it, love it, love it. Let's bring her in the middle here to give us some more golden nuggets. Ace, awesome.
Oh, wow. I loved it. Wow. Wow. Sometimes I look at myself and think, was that me? But absolutely, because I'm recognizing who the new me is, which is very important in this talk, recognizing who you are. And, years ago, I thought of myself as the clown. I always called myself the clown because I wore a clown mask, that I felt like I wore for people. And this was to kind of keep people at bay, keep me smiling, but ultimately I was dying inside. And, they say the eyes are the window to the soul. So I wouldn't look at people. I would look down when I talked to them. I would look, all around, but never gave anyone eye contact because I didn't want people to know that I was dying inside. But the only thing that did is when you realize they're scavengers. Scavengers, they recognize death. They know when something is dying and they can't wait because they want to pick at the flesh or eat the remains of that dying person. And so though I wore a mask for people, scavengers, predators, narcissists, abusers, manipulators, they smelled death and I attracted them like a magnet. And so sometimes when we're going through a lot of things, we always say, when it rains, it pours. And that's because it truly does. When it rains, it pours. And whatever we're thinking about, how we're feeling about ourselves, it reflects. And so, yes, the power of thought, it is our superpower because healing within, for me, it involved me removing the mask. And I tell you, once I removed that mask and realized who I was, oh my goodness, I became unstoppable. I became very successful because I was in alignment to what I was supposed to be. And so I no longer worry about what people think. I'm no longer the people pleaser, no longer the clown. I don't have to wear this mask. I come as I am because I come, and I'm a Christian, and this is just, this is the way I believe. I don't put anything on anyone, but I move, when it comes to people supporting you, I move as though God sent me because he did. And I operate in success as if heaven is watching, not people, not family, not friends, not Facebook, but I move as though heaven is watching me because it is. And when I move in that and operate in that headspace, everything, you just become just this magnet. And so, the power, I've used mine as a superpower. It was a nemesis for me because I hated myself. I hid myself. But now I use it as my superpower, and everybody has that superpower. Yes.
There's no words. There's nothing to say on that except OMG. The only thing I want to say is I'm with you, my sister, my queen, because I was the same way. I was like that clown, and I thought I had to be that way in order to have people love me and like me and to entertain. Then one day I just got older. Yes, I grew up and I got older, and I said, am I here to entertain you? I mean, one day I just said that to somebody. I'm not no clown. I am not a clown. I'm a human being. I just went there because my inner man was getting tired of the toxic that people was putting in me to say, well, you only do entertainment. You're nothing else. And that's what I thought they were thinking about me.
Right.
The nice thing about it, though, Queen, and I don't know if you felt this way too, is that once I put that out there, I still had that personality of, joking, being funny, but it was using my personality, not so much of just they thought I was this clown. It wasn't a clown anymore. It was a part of me. Yeah. So thank you. Oh, you hit me. Anybody else want to just kind of relate or add to what this queen was talking about? Any thoughts?
Yeah, that's one of the things. As I was growing up, I was just exactly that. So I was the life of the party, and when I wasn't the life of the party, it was, what's wrong with you? So it was like you couldn't win. So I got to the point now where it's like, you know what? I like me, and it's okay if you don't.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. And just like it always comes back to the, having the inner, something's going on inside that's even telling you that they're not liking you because the only thing you can do is make them laugh. So that's why you have to get inside here to see exactly what the root of it is. I always say, pull that root out. You got to get to the root. You can't do the symptom. The symptom was that mask, as our queen said. But the root wasn't. What was the real root of? Was you even loving yourself? Were you liking yourself? Did somebody say something a long time ago that made you say that you had to do that? So this is what we're talking about. Really getting deep.
Oh gosh. Yes.
So anything else to add before we move on? This is good already.
You got to get deep. You got to get deep. And yet, if you're not ready to get deep, it's going to be a bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, a lot of times we tell people what we want them to treat us like. A lot of comedians, they'll get up, especially heavy set ones, and they'll say, "Uh-oh, I hope I don't fall on you." Or look, they point out their flaws so that we can just go ahead and so to speak, address the elephant in the room. And I know they're going to make fun of my nose, so let me go ahead and address that. But when we just come and we just show up, we don't have to point out flaws. These become, also our superpowers. We don't have to point out something and let's get that out the way so that I'm no longer being made fun of in that area. This is who I am. This is what I'm sent to do, and this is my purpose. And they're going to like all of you, the nose, the weight, everything about you, because they see you shining inside and out.
So I was a person, I've been born with disabilities. And, so when you're the other, it's always like, well, you didn't do that right. Or you're told, well, maybe if you did it that way, like I don't know anything. So, but now, because I believe in myself, I understand myself because of all the work, injury, and challenges that have happened in my life. Now I'm like, yeah, you can tell me that, but I'm really educating you on disability, or I'm educating you on the amazingness of people with disabilities. And if you're going to always point out the other, or I don't know, or they don't know, or they're not good enough, you have to realize that you're the greatest thing that you are, because God gave that to us. God made us this way. And so whatever they say, but that's taken years of healing, but whatever they say doesn't need to be that, because we know that we can accommodate, we know our talents, and we know how much we can educate other people on the societal norms of being the other, or the person with the disability, because I'm able. You just got to find out how able I really am.
And that was the mic drop. Thank you, lovely. Okay, so we're going to get into, now that we're deep into this. This is amazing, wonderful. I could just sit back and just eat some popcorn right now, but because this is awesome. We're going to get hear from Barbara, from the other Barbara Ellison, on what she thinks when it comes to healing within.
Hi, everybody. This is Barbara. So often we look outside of ourselves for validation, for direction, all of those things that we think are out there, when actually everything that you need is already within you. It is that power within you. And what it does, though, it shows up as resilience. Are you getting up? Are you doing even a small step towards what you want going forward? Because you know what? When you take just even that one small step, it shows up in the ripple effect of that. You'll find the next small step, and then the next small step, and the next small step. And that is the power. And all you have to do is stop, take a breath, pause, and listen to what it's telling you. So that's your power. Use it.
Oh, I love it, love it, love it. It's already in you. Well, Barbara, before you come in the middle here and explain a little bit more, I was just thinking when I seen your video and I was listening to it, I was thinking of The Wizard of Oz.
Mm.
And I was thinking at the end when Dorothy, which I don't know if I was Dorothy, I'd have been very upset. But besides that, when she found out that she could have went home anytime during the flying monkeys and all the other kind of stuff going on, all she had to do was just, and she would have been home. So I'm glad that you're saying that it's already in us. So we're already there. We just need to understand that. So Barbara, I want you to come in and give a little bit more.
And that is absolutely the truth. And so often we know it, like we know it in our mind, but we need to embrace it in our heart. And so, I mean, you've heard me say a million times, find the thing that makes your heart sing, and then you will know what your purpose is, what you're supposed to be doing, all of those things that are all God given to us. However, what so often happens is that we think we have to be perfect at it. Stop doing that. I'm talking to somebody here. Stop doing that. You do not have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row. However you want to phrase it, just start with one step. That one inkling that you have one little inkling. Like with me, one of the things as a kid, I always thought, wouldn't it be fun to have a TV, to be on TV? And here I am. But back then, I mean, I had no idea. It wasn't until Barb Beckley came along and went, oh, let's talk about this. Okay. And I started out doing little 35, 40-second videos on Instagram and was petrified and shaking in my boots when I did it. But you know what? I did do it. And now here we are on a fabulous show with other fabulous ladies who also took that small step to get themselves going. So I'm talking to somebody out there, just do it.
Ah. And when she says just do it, just do it.
Just do it. Take that one step, just do it.
It's just like I'm trying to do it and get, I lost everybody. Okay, I love technology. With that said, I want to go to our next video with Mrs. Karen and get her take on healing within. We'll be right back.
The real power to heal isn't outside of you, it's already inside of you. I'm Karen Stultz. Here's what I believe. I believe and I know that joy, health, wealth, and freedom is your birthright. And you're never too old to fully enjoy that. With a little bit of awareness, a little bit of allowing, and with the right support, you can create the awesome life that is your birthright, that you love. Because when you release what's inside, the outside begins to shift.
I love that. I love how she just said, if when you release your inside, your outside shifts. And she is so right about that. Please, Karen, tell more about that for us.
Oh, it's so true. Thank you so much, Barb. I seem to be having some tech issues, but that we'll work through that. Because you know what? It just shows what the other Barb said. There is no perfection. It's all good. It's all good, and it's all for a reason. So for whatever reason, it is always from the inside. You just have to give yourself the awareness and the allowing, and make a decision. Make a decision that this is what you want. And then the world, the universe just starts bringing it to you. It's just amazing how that happens. But we have to make that decision. I remember even in healing, I remember when I had a hysterectomy, total hysterectomy. I was down for the count. It was bad. Didn't sleep, agony, throwing up all night. It was horrible. My husband comes in the morning, and I was in a hospital about 2 hours away. So he drives down in the morning. He comes in. He says, "How are you?" "Horrible. The world is awful. This is bad." He said, "Okay, bye." And he went back home. And I sat there for a little while longer, just feeling horrible about myself and everything else. And I said, you know what? No, I am not getting a healing here. I am not going to feel good here. And I have to do something. So what can I do? I can stop complaining, and I can start thinking about what it would be like to heal. And the doctor came in, and I said, "I cannot spend another night here." He said, "Fine. If you can get up out of that bed and walk up and down the hallway, fine. Other than that, you're going to be here." And I got up and I walked up and down the hallway, and the nurse said, "Excuse me, will you please slow down?" And I called up my husband and I said, "All right, come down and get me." The phone is ringing as he walks through the door. So it was 2 hours. 2 hours difference. And phone is ringing. I said, "Okay, darling, come on back down and get me. I'm ready to go home." And he "Excuse me? You were dying 2 hours ago. What happened?" It is the mental inside. It's making the decision that even if it isn't the way you want it, we have the power to make the change inside, whether it be emotional or physical, and your outside world changes.
Yes.
I've seen that with
wonderful.
everybody.
So wonderfully put. Like you said, Queen, it takes that, you have to make that decision. It's basically, that's what it is. We all have to make that decision to say, are we going to stay where we're at, all grumpy and whatever, and just make it worse? Because most of the time when you're like that and you're sick, especially when you're sick, it just makes it worse. It really does. And then, but you have to say to yourself, no, I'm going to come out of this. I'm going to be better. And all of a sudden you start little by little, just like how Karen was, little by little, feeling just a little bit more better than what you were. So I'm loving about the step by step and making that decision. Anybody want to add a little bit to what Carol?
I would love to. One, I have a good friend who has lectured at Harvard and things like that. And he says that we each have 32 trillion cells listening to everything we think, every thought we have. And they are doing their best to cause that to come to pass. So if you think about it and you watch people that are always talking negative and always saying, I can't, I won't, can't afford, etc., it'll come to pass. But if they're going, oh, it's a great day, I love it, God is in control. He's in control after your thoughts because he gave us free will. So the words of our mouth make our future. They construct our future. And so your decision to change and think, I'm not getting well here, I'm going to do better, changed your whole outlook, changed your next step, your next world.
And the key there, I love that, Carol. And the key there is that you have to feel it. It isn't just, okay, I'm ready to get out of here. You have to feel it.
Yeah. And I know I've told Barb this story before. My dad, when he was in his 80s, he took really, really sick. But when my sisters and I, when we were growing up, he always told us that he was going to live to be 100. He was going to be retired longer than he worked, and he was going to get his letter from the Queen of England for turning 100. And when he was in his 80s, he took really sick. And we all rushed up to Montreal, did a forced drive up there, and we were at his bedside. But my older sister looked at him and said, Daddy, I thought you wanted to get your letter from the Queen. Oh, brother, we literally watched the wheel start to turn in his eyeballs. And the next comment out of his mouth was, I do want my letter from the Queen. And it's hanging on my wall. And I look at it all the time. And he lived to be 102. I only lost my dad and I'm 75. I only lost my dad when I was 69. So the power of a goal and making that thought count. So do it. Yeah, do it.
See how
Barb, you're muted.
See how to blend into what we're talking about today. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now we're talking about blending in and shining from itself. We have special video that I want to play regarding what we're just talking about shining from within. We'll be right back.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Woke up with a smile I didn't fake. Took a breath and gave myself a break. Don't need the world to say I'm right.
I've got my spark, I've got my light.
Mirror's not a judge, it's just a friend. I'm learning how to love myself again.
No chasing perfect, that's the game. I'm showing up, not hiding shame.
Every scar, every line, just a part of my design. Not holding back, not dimming down. This is me, I wear my crown. Shine
from inside, let your colors fly. You don't need a reason why
to laugh, to dance, to dream out loud. You're enough right here and now.
So to hold.
We've all got chapters, some we hide, but even pain can turn to pride.
I'm not a version made to please, I'm dancing to my melody.
It's never late to start again. Every story finds its pen. I'm not small, I'm not too much, I'm just right, and that's enough.
Shine from inside, let your colors fly. You don't need a reason why.
To laugh, to dance, to dream out loud. You're enough right here and now.
So take that step, don't second guess. The world needs your fabulousness. You're the light, you're the vibe.
Just shine from inside. Let go of doubt, let love in. This is the moment you begin.
The magic's real, and so are you. Be your best, it shines right through.
Shine from inside, don't hide your flame. This world will never be the same.
When you show up just as you are,
You're already a shining star. So take that step, don't second guess. The world needs your fabulousness. You're the light, you're the vibe. Just shine from inside. Just shine from inside. Yeah. Shine from inside.
Wow, wow, wow. So if you can see, I love, first of all, let's give a warm, warm clap for Tamara L. Hunter. She's the one that created for her production that song Shine Inside. And it fits not just for this show, but for every part of your being every day. Please make yourself shine every day for people, because that's what's important. I always talk about, we have special gifts within us, our own gifts. So we need to have it shine. We just have to shine because people need your gift. People need your light. I always say your lighthouse to the world. People need that light. So shine, shine, shine. With that said, if you're just tuning in, let's talk about the power within, healing beyond the surface. Healing beyond the surface. We were talking about how it's already in us. The power is in us already. We're talking about how we have to get to the root of things in order to make sure the inside is good, so then the outer comes out. So it comes this way and not this way, really. Okay, with that said, we're going to get to our other panelists. I'm going to play Miss Carol and let's so she has to say about healing beyond the surface.
Hi, I'm Carol Henderson. I wanted to feature in on the physical this month, the power within, and the fact that how many of y'all think about your cardiac system and your heart and your blood pumping through your body every day, all day, 24/7 for your entire life? Well, there is a part of that called microvessels. They are so small that 100 of those vessels will fit into a human hair. That small, and that's the biggest part of your blood system, and it's what feeds the cells. But so often as we age, our microvessels get clogged, and that's part of what causes aging. It's part of what causes illness. So I just want to bring that to the forefront.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Before we get to Queen Carol talking a little bit about, because I'm glad that she brought up the fact about it can be, the health part of it inside your body, your organs and everything. Because I was just thinking about that when I was looking at her video about how my mother, when she was, God rest her soul, she's up there, she has her wings now. But when before she got her wings, she was very sickly. She had to basically go on dialysis. And when we first found out about that, when she got sick, because she didn't know what was going on, she was just getting more sick and sick. And she was laying on her bed and she couldn't hardly get up. And she was like, "Oh, I'm feeling so bad. I don't know what's going on." And I said, "Ma, it's something inside. We got to check you. We got to get you to the doctor." And she's like, "No, I'm just going to lay here." And again, making that decision. So I propped her up. I said, "We are taking you to the doctor to see what's going on." So sometimes, I thought it was her because she was pressed too. So I think it was that. But it was something that was going on in her body that was making her feel that way, because she was Mrs. Punchy. She'd just be like full, just everywhere, just action. And then all of a sudden she's just like this. So I'm glad, Carol, that you brought that up, that you have to look at everything about you when it comes to healing. So thank you, Carol, for that. Just give you a little, get more take on that. Uh-oh, you're on mute. Uh-oh.
Okay. I
Oh, you're
keep
back.
and it keeps getting muted again. So, yes, there are so many factors in how we live our life. Just like your mom, she was doing everything she could to keep her thought process right, but there was something going on in the physical. And it can happen with trauma, it can happen with old age. But I've recently been doing a lot of research on microvessels. And many of y'all know that I've dealt in health and wellness for years, and supplements and what you do to fix this and how you fix that. And I ran across a study that 300,000 people in this study, and it was in Europe. We don't do studies that big here, but half of them were cancer patients, half of them were just normal run of the mill people of all ages. Not one of them failed to improve when they got their blood clean. We have things in our blood. I mean, you're probably hearing already about plastics in your blood, and there are microplastics floating in your blood, but in your brain there are nanoplastics. And there is a way to clean these bloods at the micro vessel. And y'all heard that they're so tiny, 100 of them will fit in a human hair. And so that's pretty tiny. And I know that when I started cleaning my blood, I saw a difference in how I felt, my energy level, my thought processes. And if you can do that, and you need to eat properly. You need to drink plenty of water, and water does not mean something with water in it. It's not a liquid, it's water. And just things like that will help you to be healthier. But then clean your blood. And that is a huge aspect of health. And so many things can be rectified if your blood is clean. And that is so exciting to me right now.
Wow. Well, I didn't think about it. You talk about a little. I said, see how you learn from a community when you start talking to other people. That's why it's so important to have these type of shows on, because we learn so much about each other and about ourselves. I would never do that. Never.
Well, and
Anybody else want to add to that? Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
with your blood, it carries the nutrients to all of your body. So if you have part of your body where the micro vessels are clogged, whether it's plastics or whatever, but they're clogged, that part isn't getting nourished. So, cognitive ability, that's one that a lot of people deal with, or pain in the joints, or, all of that could be from clogged vessels. And you've got your blood vessels, but you also have your lymph, and your lymph it does not have a pump like your blood does. So you have to activate and move, and whether you ride a bicycle or walk or whatever, you've got to activate those lymph moving, because that's what carries the trash out of the cells and to the like kidneys and liver and stuff to be cleaned.
Wow.
I thought I saw it.
I
Yeah,
said I got to get to Roxy because she's just like waving her hand over there.
yeah, that's fine.
I'm so excited you brought up the lymphatic system because I am a manual lymphatic drainage specialist in Massachusetts. And I tell everybody, you need to move your lymph or get lymphatic drainage done. Not the Brazilian, not all of these other things that people are talking about. You can you can do exercise, you can do dry brushing, but if you go to a professional that's been trained and licensed in it, you're going to have that move your system. It's going to boost your immunity, and it's going to help with performance, and you're going to feel rejuvenated. Lymph and the micro vessels that she was talking about, all of these things are so important. We have to move our things in our body. The internal system is so important. So thank you so much, lovely lady, for sharing that great information today.
Oh, you're all so lovely. I love it. Yes. So this tells me I need to get another topic going for next time about this, because this is awesome. So now that we heard from Ms. Roxy, we're going to hear her video of what she tells us when it talks about healing within the surface.
This is Roxy B. Rocker, and I am going to talk to you about the deepening of my relationship with God and how I use some tools to know that I'm in my prayer place and I know that I'm working with God. And when I can feel that presence of the divine, that's what I want to share. I use breath work, meditation, and prayer, and sometimes I even write some things down. On my reminders, I have a remember God every day. And when I feel that remember God every day, I have a deep breath. Every time it comes up on my phone, it's a deep breath, and it's a and so I think that we need to always remember God within our heart, and we thank God, and we have gratitude, and we use prayer, we use breath, we use reminders, are grateful for our blessings.
I'm sorry, I had to do the heart thing because that was just so soothing what you were telling us. So that heart just came right into play. But go ahead, Queen.
So, okay, so I'm very spiritual, and I'm very connected to God. And I have, whether we want to call it, psychic ability or what, sometimes I channel. And I don't even remember doing that. I must have channeled that message for the world because I was crying when I heard myself even say it, and I watched what God was speaking through me. And so one of the things that is actually really happening for my life right now is that when I get that reminder every day, I'm asking and saying, okay, God, what are you going to work through me today? Because my life is moving faster than it normally has. Just even a few months ago, things are just changing in a beautiful way. And, I talked a little bit about being the other and being disabled. So God made me this way. And for a long, long time, I didn't feel like I could accept that. And something happened 3.5, 4 years ago where I skidded on ice and I smashed my face, and I hurt my nose, my orbital bone, my head, and my neck, and I think my hip and my jaw. I heard a lot of things in that car accident, and I was already disabled, and then they labeled me a whole bunch more. So what happened after that? And then I kept on asking God, what should I do next? And it said, you have to go back to what you are. You're a person with a disability, and you need to teach everyone how to embrace that as you are. So God just gave me the opportunity to have a magazine, and then I'm a host on a TV show. And then I'm hearing about the power of the voice. Because I'm high verbal, and sometimes when I type, my words don't come out. But if I can speak through the heart and share my heart with others, I want to be able to tell people that we're amazing. We need to believe in ourselves, that God loves us. We can have gratitude. We can give our gifts to each other, but we need to have time together like this, because time together like this is church, community, prayer time. We're together, we're connecting, and then we're also connecting with the world. This is what Spirit wants us to share with one another what's on our heart, because if we're not, how are people going to know the things that are beautiful out there and the gifts that we have to share? So that reminder every day my spiritual teacher gave me, and I'm so blessed that that reminder comes back up. And if I feel stressed, which I do, I have to pray, I have to meditate, I have to close my eyes and do breathe in through your nose and out your mouth, and just feel that nervous system relax. So this power within, we have to remember that we have a divinity in us, that God is expressing who we are throughout this. But if we don't go internal and we don't take that pauses in those moments, we're not able to. We're then in stress and the chaos. But we have to also find those times to get into the calm, so we can share our hearts with each other, and we can be those expressions of those divine moments, because that's what needs to happen on this earth. While everything is troubling and chaotic right now, we need heart moments so we can be with one another. So we need more of this. And I'm so grateful I got to be here, and that we get to shine our hearts on each other. So thank you all for your time and our talents.
I just, whew, you talking about my heart and my soul and everything else crying out right now. Thank you so much, lady. That was, I think everybody in the chat, in the comments, the panel, we're all just taking that in. Yeah, this is what's needed right now. Really needed. I'm just going to say it just like that without saying anything else. I keep telling people we need to bring back the love for each other, the community, understanding what's in us, that the root of it is, and help each other get out of that and know how special we are. So each and every one of you queens, I got to say it if I haven't said it before, I appreciate each and every one of you being on this panel. I appreciate Queen Tamara L. Hunter for having this show come on every Sunday. And Gloria, I didn't forget you. She's working the bottom half for us. She's my little angel doing things in the background. But every little thing that we all do for each other is so important. So thank you for reminding us to take that breathe, taking that moment, and then making sure that we're special for each other. Whew. So with that, showing this love, we have what we call the Purple Club. And a lot of people that are part of this wonderful, I call it movement, that we have here at the Fab show. We also have a chemo buddies that we have a group. And one of our chemo buddies is an angel that went home with her wings. And she's always like purple. She used to talk about purple all the time, purple pen, purple heart. So we always want to play this to just reminisce who she was and how much we love her. So we're going to give that little time for that. Yes, legacy of love. If you can leave any legacy that you're thinking about, legacy of love is more powerful to me. This is for Barbara, coming from Barbara, is more important than anything, is leaving that legacy. Now, with that, we have a few more minutes left. Okay, we have a few more minutes left. So I want to hear from each of these wonderful queens. I want to give them a chance to give any other lasting thoughts when it comes to healing beyond the surface. We have a lot of people out there that are hurting inside, and we don't even know. We can't even fathom what we're going through. I want to put it out there right now before I let the other queens speak, is that you are not alone. I want to put that out there. You are not alone. And if you haven't heard anybody, because somebody told me just the other day, that they never heard the word from their parents or from their siblings, LOVE. And that crushed me. That simply crushed me when I heard that. And I told myself, I said, that's why we need to show love. So if no one ever told you about how important you are, your inner beauty to outer, or that they love you, we love you for that point. So I want to bring on the queen. I'm going to put him here, give lasting thoughts. Now I'm doing the 30-second rule. You know my game. 30 seconds. You get 30 seconds. Then after that, I got to pull you out. So don't get upset at me because I'm telling you beforehand, because we want to make sure we give everybody a chance. So I'll start with the other Barbara. Go ahead, Barbara.
Unmute. Unmute. 30 seconds. You just mentioned stop. Stop. So I have my stop, wait, and listen. Take that breath that we've been talking about. Take that breath. Stop what you're doing and wait. What's next? And then wait for the answer. So often we ask, but then we don't wait for the answer. Wait for the answer. And it will come to you of what your next step of love and of relationship and of peace and of prosperity. You will get the answer. But you have to stop what you're doing, wait, ask, and then wait for the answer.
Okay. Miss Roxy.
That mute button is hard. Okay, so even when you're in the worst pain and the worst challenge, and let me tell you, there is not enough time on this show to talk about the troubles that I've had. But I will tell you that the one thing that probably has gotten me out of it is finding a little tiny piece of blessing somewhere in that turmoil, a little tiny piece of gratitude somewhere. And now I always say sparkle. And I've been saying sparkle forever. But that sparkle is about shining that light. I'm crying, I know, but it's okay. Because you know what? I'm human. But sparkle is shining that light. And, people can say sparkling and sparkle, whatever. But really, it's about this brightness that I know that I was given. We've all have it in us. Find that blessing. When you find that blessing and you find more blessings, guess what's going to happen? Light's going to start shining around you, within you. The light is going to come on. So sparkle it up and be sparkling as much as you can. Find those blessings.
And it's okay for those wonderful tears. Karen?
Lead with heart. Speak with heart. Always, if we can recognize how amazing we are inside, and just take that breath and be grateful and look for the good. Always look for the good. I love the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your words. Don't take things personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. Always lead with heart and love.
Okay. Okay, Miss Carol. 30 seconds.
Okay, but the mute button is hard. I would say that God has put everything in us that we need physically with our bodies. We need to give it the right building blocks, the right nutrition, the right thought patterns, the right words, because every word is a thought before it's a word. And, so all of that to help your body to be the very best, because if your body's good, everything else is going to flow out of that if your body is working properly. So, yes, let that light shine.
My lasting thought is sometimes you have to speak life into your situation. They did a study with 2 plants, and one plant they spoke negative to it, and you're a loser, you're going to die, and this and that. And the plant that plant died. But the other one that they spoke life into, it just shined. So sometimes we have to encourage ourselves. I lived in domestic violence, almost killed, told I was all kind of losers, and I had to retrain my brain and speak the I am statements. I am, I will, I am doing. So my lasting thought is, you're not here to ask, you are here to decide. What are you deciding for yourself today?
Good, good. Love you guys. Our time is up. Thank you again. Remember, you are important. You are loved. We'll see you at the next Let's Talk Fab show next Sunday.